Hey there, how you doing? It's Lucy from Feel Fit with Lucy, and just a quick introduction to my training plans and coaching. So first of all, if you don't know me, I'm a level 3 triathlon coach, a level 2 training peaks coach, and I'm also a mental health and exercise coach. So that means working with you to get the best out of your mind to support your training, but also making sure that we can get the most out of your training in terms of the mental health benefits. I'm a personal trainer, specialising in endurance exercise. I am training at the moment to be a life coach, hopefully qualifying at the beginning of 2024. In terms of my own racing, I've done age group, I've done ultras and Audax and Ironman and lots of other stuff as well. But probably more important than all of that is my training philosophy, which is that having a training plan is all very well and good. But for me, the most important thing is that that training is adding value to your life, that it's not competing with your life, and that we're working on your general health, your mindset, so that you get to the start line and indeed the finish line, not just getting the time that you want, but that you get there happy and healthy. In terms of the training plans I offer, my main plan is my Light Touch plan, which is £90 a month. That's a monthly training plan. All of my training plans are delivered on Training Peaks, which is an online training platform. I upload your sessions to there. You can then download them from there to your watch or your bike computer, but also you can then upload your training sessions to Training Peaks from your watch or whatever. So I can see what you've been doing, check that it's all kind of as intended. I also include drills on your training plan, so you're building your skills as well as your fitness. On the Light Touch and my other plan, my full support plan, you get 45-minute coaching calls each month where we review your training plan, we look at your training plan for the forthcoming month, we deal with any issues and questions, and then every quarter we have a slightly longer call, which just gives us an opportunity to take a step back, see if there's any issues we want to deal with, capture any learnings going forwards. You get a 50% off Club Feel Fit, which is my online weekly strength and conditioning training plan, which I'll talk to you a bit more about in a second. And on all of my Light Touch plans, there's no review outside of the meeting. So I write the training plan, but then and before each call, I do a thorough review of your plan, but I'm not reviewing the plan between calls. And you would be following a set structure each week. So you would decide on that structure and it can change month by month, but you'd always do the same type of session on a Tuesday, same type of session on a Wednesday. The other plan that I offer is the full support plan. That's £170 a month. And in addition to what you get with the Light Touch plan, I'm also reviewing your plan every Monday and then updating the plan as needed. So if you couldn't do a session last week or if you've got changes coming up for the forthcoming week, and I send you an email each week after I review your plan, and then you get free complimentary membership of Club Feel Fit. So the full support plan works out better if you're somebody who wants the additional accountability of me looking at your plan each week, or if you tend to have a more unpredictable or changeable schedule, or if you're prone to injury and so your plan might need updating more often. I also have two other variations of the Light Touch plan. So the Light Touch Turbo plan, which is surprisingly enough, turbo sessions only, and the Lightest Touch plan, where there's a maximum of 2 structured or personalized sessions a week. On both of those options, the coaching calls are 30 minutes each month, and you get 25% off Club Feel Fit. Then you take your standard coaching plan, so your Light Touch plan or your full support plan, and then there's various different things you can add on to that if you want. So as I've already talked about, you can add on Club Feel Fit, which I'll talk about a bit more in a second. There's Feel Fit Foundations, Race Ready, both of which I'll talk about again. Or you could also add on additional calls if you wanted, or as I say, coming hopefully soon in 2024, life coaching calls. So Club Feel Fit, they are weekly online sessions, either by Zoom, so I can see you, you can see me, we can work together on your technique, or I also upload all of those sessions to the private Facebook group. I also have a Dropbox group if you're not on Facebook, so you can either do the sessions live with me or a time that suits you. They're specifically structured for runners, triathletes, cyclists. So we're developing your mobility, stability, as well as your strength. So trying to reduce your chance of getting injured, as well as building up your strength for racing and training. I've just launched this year a new Feel Fit Foundation program. So this is a program of advice that's kind of based on all my sort of decade of experience coaching, trying to lay the foundations not just for your racing and training, but also for a healthy life in general. We will be looking at training fundamentals, we'll be looking at recovery, we're looking at nutrition, and we're looking at your mindset. And then there's also an additional module for women, which is sort of looking into the specifics for women, because the sports industry and the sports nutrition industry doesn't do a very good job of tailoring things specifically for women. So there's an additional module specifically for you to make sure you're getting the best out of your training. If you're not female, but there's another, you're in a sort of another specific group. So for example, if you're male over 40, then there's also additional information specific for you in there. But also important to say, the whole program is a kind of standard program, standard modules, but it's very much, it's one-to-one, you and me talking all these issues through. So it's very much tailored to you as we go. It's delivered through 4 monthly calls where we cover those 4 foundations. And as I say, for women, there's essentially 2 extended sessions, the fundamentals and the nutrition, where we look at those issues in more detail with female specific recommendations. And you also get a workbook to accompany the calls so that you can highlight the actions you want to choose taking forwards. Those actions are very much led by you. The emphasis is on your takeaways, your actions. So I give you the information, but then we work together to develop a plan of what is sustainable and relevant for you. And we keep on checking in on that. So each session builds on the previous session, so we can address any issues that have come up over the previous month. In terms of the next steps, this is a time-limited offer, so it's launched just now. Your launch offer is £180 if you pay for it in advance, or £50 a month if you pay for it month by month. As I say, that's a launch price only, so that's if you sign up by the end of October to start the course in November. There are a limited number of places because it depends on time in my diary, so if you're interested, sign up as soon as possible. There's also my new Race Ready upgrade, which I don't, for some distances, so for Ironman, half Ironman, ultras, bespoke sort of distances, and marathon plans, I don't include your race plan by default. And the reason for that is to make sure that for people who aren't racing, they're not paying effectively to cover people who are. It takes me more time, more of my time to write those training plans, to work with you on those training plans. And I found over the years that you need more support than that standard level of support. So, so you have a race ready upgrade to cover if you're racing at any of those distances, or if you're racing, for example, a half marathon or an Olympic, but you need some additional support. So you've got a history of injury, you've got particularly stretching goals, or you just want some additional support, you can get that race ready upgrade. The upgrade includes race-specific sessions, building you up towards race day, but probably most importantly is we work together on developing a race-ready plan that you test in your training so that come race day, you know exactly what you need to do to execute the best race that you can. That race-ready plan includes nutrition, hydration, pacing, mindset, kit, logistics, the weather, and if you haven't already done the Feel Fit Foundations, then a sort of condensed foundations course. I won't talk through all of this in detail other than to say that if you're doing an Ironman or a long distance ultra or bespoke distance, it's £120 a month. If you're doing a half Ironman marathon or a sort of shorter distance ultra or bespoke race, it's £50 a month, and that would generally be 4 months that you'll be paying for that race ready upgrade. If you're doing something shorter than that, then it's £30 a month, and it would depend on which race, how much support you need, but probably 2 to 3 months of additional race ready upgrade. Those are just some of the additional resources you get with Race Ready Plus. So if you're doing an Ironman, you get a best bike split, power-based plan specific to you, as well as course profiles from Bella Viewer, various other resources. In terms of what that might look like, I'll leave you to kind of look through this in more detail, but I've mapped out what your standard call time is, what the additional calls would be if you were having the Race Ready upgrade or the Feel Fit Foundations, what the additional cost is for either of those, and therefore what it would come out in as total. I'll leave you to look at that by yourself. which just means all that's left for me to say is thank you. Thank you for listening and making it through to the end. If you've got any questions, please do drop me an email, or best is to book in the 20-minute call, which you can link to from my website, and we can talk through next steps or any questions you've got. Thank you.